Hello, everybody. It's Friday once again. We've made it to the end of the week. Pumped to have Dr. Kristen Paul with us here on the Edmentum, Illinois Friday Fact, Fiction, and Fuzzy. As always, Kevin Gallman, KG, my colleague here in Illinois, is with us. And Dr. Kristen Paul is currently the Regional Client Development Coach for Humanex. Before that, though, she's been in a lot of different places as an educator and as an administrator in Lake County. Started out as a teacher in Antioch 117. She was an assistant principal at Caruso Middle School in Deerfield 109. And then most recently, she was the principal at Station Campus Middle School in Barrington 220. Kristen, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing great, Kristen. Thanks for asking. And we're just thrilled to have you here today.
Happy to have you, definitely.
For our segment.
Me.
Yeah, absolutely. So Kristen, maybe start us off with a fact, something that you've learned this year in your role as in that consultative role now as a client development coach.
Yeah, so one of the things that I've learned is that to have a high performing team, you need to know more about yourself. And by that, I mean knowing more about who you are and what your talents are and how you can show up to your team with those talents, and how can you know the talents of your team in order to be stronger together. And it's been really powerful to see leaders discover that and discover their own potential, and also putting a name with, oh, I always did it that way, but I never knew that actually was because I had courage, or trust building is really important to me. And that's why I always try to develop those authentic relationships right away. And, it really is so powerful when you see leaders discover more about themselves and then each other, and how amazing it is to see teams just go and grow in such a short amount of time in that discovery process.
Yeah, perhaps, Kristen, quarantine has given us time to do a lot of reflection.
Yes, for sure.
How about a fiction, Kristen? Something that maybe you thought was true about education, but perhaps recently you learned was not true.
So something that I've learned over the years in leadership, and actually several years ago, I read a book called Culturize by Jimmy Cassis. And just reading the words of someone else talking about what culture is and naming it, I'm like, that's it. That's what we should all have been doing all along. And it's this whole idea of culture is not the work that one person does. It's the work that we all do together. And it's really creating that environment where, we are encouraging one another. We're talking about what a healthy culture and climate looks like. In my role, what I do, I can help, school districts gather data and analyze that data to goal set and create some action plans, really give, opportunities for people to share their voice and perspective, and create that collaborative community I think that we all want as leaders. And, it isn't something, this idea of like we're all in it together with this healthy culture isn't something that we always talk about, but it definitely needs to be discussed. And when I was a principal, that was something that was really important to me and something that we did. And we read the book together as a staff and talked about ways to, create that healthy culture. And now more than ever, we need that, and we need to address it and make sure that our teachers and our community and all of us together are creating that healthy environment for kids overall.
It's amazing as we get to move around different buildings and see, as you walk into a building, you immediately feel that culture, and you know what that culture is, and that work is so important and so valuable. Yeah. What would be a fuzzy? Something that a warm and fuzzy, or something that's still a little bit unclear moving forward?
Yeah. So a warm fuzzy to share actually happened yesterday. I was working with a district in this area, and I was, introducing myself at the beginning, and the superintendent turned the camera around and said, "Kristen, it's your former student teacher." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." It was amazing. He was my student teacher 12 years ago, and now he is a leader in this district. And that just made me so proud of him and how far he's come. And, really that's why I do what I do, is to, encourage and inspire others to reach their fullest potential. And, just to see and, meet someone again for the first time, or again after a long time, was really, really awesome. So I'm glad that I was able to see him, and so proud of him and how far he's come as a leader.
Always really neat to see how you've impacted somebody and that overall circle and moving forward. That is so exciting. So exciting.
Yeah.
She is Dr. Kristen Paul, Twitter handle at Mrs. Kristen Paul. If be a great follow for you with Humanex. We're very, very happy to have you and look forward to what this year brings and how you can help districts grow throughout the state. So thanks again. And thanks for watching this edition of Edmentum's Friday Fact, Fiction, and Fuzzy.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey, Kristen, real quick, I know that this is not something we wanted to, or that we mentioned earlier, but I just want to say that you guys have a workshop too that's coming up, right, for Humanex? I didn't know if this was maybe a chance you wanted to talk just for a second about that.
Yeah, so I am co-facilitating a workshop with a superintendent from Illinois, actually Tom Mahoney, Dr. Tom Mahoney from Oregon 220. And we are talking about how to get unstuck, practical steps to move forward for leaders. And it's open to anyone. Anyone can come, but if you live in the state of Illinois, you can get professional development credits for attending. So check it out. It is on our website, and we're promoting it on social media as well. But we'd love to have anyone come join us on March 16th from 12 to 1 o'clock.
Excellent, Kristen. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Have a good day, you guys.